Over 10 lakh students wait with bated breath because the CBSE is likely to finally give details about their marking criteria for Class 12 today. The evaluation will likely be on pre-board exams and the Class 10 and Class 11 results. Here's a detailed report.
Will there be a grading system or will there be marks for all? Will Class 10 and 11 results be given maximum consideration? And what will happen to the practicals conducted? So many questions, but still no answers. Weeks after the Narendra Modi government cancelled the CBSE board exams for Class 12 students due to the pandemic, more than 10 lakh students are awaiting clarity on the assessment procedure. The CBSE is likely to end the suspense in the next 24 hours or so. But for now, the students find themselves in a state of limbo.
I am a good student, so I was looking forward for my boards. I was expecting above 93, 94, 95% above. So right now I'm kind of confused and I don't know how much marks I'll get.
I feel grade 10 marks, taking that into account, is a good idea because it's the closest to an authentic board exam that we've had.
Similar is the ordeal of the parents.
There is a lot of confusion now in the minds of parents because, the exams got cancelled at the last moment. The children have prepared. How the students would get the marks?
I feel that had they been told much earlier that these exams, they would be in a better position to have prepared for their competitive exams.
Sources tell India Today that the CBSE will evaluate students on the basis of their performances in previous exams. Sources say evaluation will be based on pre-board exams as well as Class 10th and 11th results. The board has also rejected reports of it following a no-marks criteria to evaluate students.
Pandemic has given this opportunity to think and to just redefine the evaluation process. So the children are getting benefit, no doubt, because in class 10th, which CBSE has given us the criteria and the formulas, they are very good and they are in favor of a student.
The CBSE faces a tough task of ensuring a fast and fair assessment formula for the students. Its decision will also be looked up by various state boards that have also cancelled board exams. With Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, Abhishek Mishra in Lucknow and Akshay Nath in Chennai. Bureau Report, India Today.
These are nerve-wracking times for students, equally for parents also. I want to now introduce our guests who are joining us on this broadcast. We have Karan Gupta, who is an education and career consultant, joining us here on India Today. Suruchi Gandhi is the principal of the Bal Bharati Public School based in Dwarka. We have Dr. Jyoti Gupta, also director principal of DPS Sahibabad. A student from Delhi Public School, Noida, Ruchit Tandon, is also joining us on this broadcast. And I want to start with you, Ruchit. The information we're picking up is that the assessment criteria is going to be your previous exams. Do you think that's fair? Will you be happy with that kind of an assessment criteria?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. I believe that this kind of criteria will support the students who have been consistent in their performance. And why shouldn't they get credit for all the hard work that they've done in the past? So I believe it is a good medium to judge how well the students adapt to concepts. And we can use the class 10th exams because these were external exams, and even the class 11th exams, and see how well the students have performed.
Ms. Suruchi Gandhi, would you agree with that? The worry is that maybe some students didn't give it their all in the previous exams and they were planning to perhaps put in all the effort in the class 12 board exams. Do you think that's a concern that many students will be voicing now?
Absolutely. I think from the anxiety regarding whether the exams would be held or not, the current focus has shifted on concern about disparity in marking, especially for good children who feel totally at a loss, and since in the absence of any well-defined criteria till date, they feel really, at sea. But what I personally feel is that, one, I have reiterated this earlier also, that marks are in no way a yardstick to your success in life.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this is a very, very peculiar situation. The many universities, including Delhi University, they are considering of tweaking their system of, admissions, considering the current scenario in mind. And we have always been a very student-centric and a child-friendly system. CBSE has also taken all possible efforts to ensure that students' future or students' concerns are not compromised at any level. So a very objective system of assessment with a very well-qualified team is under consideration. And I'm sure they'll give weightage to class 10th, which was the first public exam that children appeared for, and class 11th and 12th. And as you rightly said, the child has been consistent throughout. He has no reasons to worry. And secondly, another chance is, of course, available to students when situation improves, that they can reappear, they can appear for the board exam, if they feel like. So all is not lost.
The reason I ask this question is there are many students out there. I was one of those students who would, give it my all for the board exams. Before that, perhaps slack off. The problem here, and I'd like to bring in Dr. Jyoti Gupta also on this. Dr. Gupta, many of the students may find this to be unfair because it's been, one whole year of uncertainty. In that one whole year, there have been, a lot of assessments, a lot of exams that perhaps they haven't been able to give their best for.
So I have a slightly contrarian view to this. Okay. According to me, the children, when they are in 10th and when they are in 12th, there is a lot of difference in their performance. Yes, the consistent performers are there, but if you pick up the top 1,000 children of CBSE in 10th, and you pick up the top 1,000 children of CBSE in 12th, there would be very few common in between. So the children who take up subjects like liberal arts, they take up subjects like the vocational subjects, skill subjects, they give their best shots in 11th and 12th when they are taking the subjects of their choices. So they really perform well at that point of time. It is going to be unfair for the children who have probably not done well in 10th to be taking their historic performance and linking it with class 12 now. You rightly say that the children have gone through a lot of turmoil this year. There are privileged children who have been fortunate to study online, give the online examinations. There are many others whose families were also disturbed. We've seen that a lot of families have a lot of loss and grief. It is not going to be fair on those children who have consistently not performed during the year. Having said that, the pre-board exams that happened in most schools are a good yardstick to measure the performance of the children. Also, some bit can be taken from their regular tests and exams that have happened throughout the year in one or the other form. Now, linking class 11, because class 11, mostly the children are preparing for their competitive examinations. They are not very serious about scoring in class 11 because they have their eyes, fixed on the SAT examinations, JEE examinations, NEET examinations. So they keep the academics of class 11 to a level where they do well, but not as well as their capacity or capability is. So if we see the peaks, the children peak in 10th, then they come down in 11th, then they peak in 12th again. And also there are a lot of children in 12th as well. Those whose focus is on the competitive examinations. So they may not be as high scorers in class 12th as they were in 10th. Because in 10th, they may have got very good marks, but once their focus shifts, they also kind of, start preparing for their competitive examinations. And they are good with 80-85% also, because that is what is required of them in board examinations.
No, these are very important points.
It's only 60%.
These are very important points you've made,
So
Dr.
I would
Gupta.
say that the 10th criteria was a very good criteria. That was an objective criteria. And you can't link 10th because the children are doing 10th from state boards. They are doing from ICSE. They are doing from CBSE. to be now sitting down and collaborating the marks of 10th of all these state boards and then giving weightage to it in CBSE, because the entire country is not Delhi, where all the children are giving the CBSE exam, or it's not the NCR.
No, that's a very good point.
Are there.
That's a very good point, and
children
that's something that must be considered, you know, the national repercussions of something like this. I want to also bring in Karan Gupta. Karan, good morning. A lot of the worry with regards to this assessment criteria for students is about what it means for them in their next step with regards to universities admission. And I'm not just talking about Indian universities, but also universities based abroad. You know, their criteria is going to have to change according to this now. Karan, can you hear me? All right. Don't think we have Karan with us. I'll go across to him in just a bit. He is an education consultant who can perhaps give us a lot more details on how things will change now for universities. But Ruchit, coming back to you, you know, you heard what Dr. Gupta as well as Ms. Gandhi said. Are these concerns that your friends also are voicing? And what about, you know, your admission into universities? Is that something you're concerned about?
Many of my friends, including me, have applied for foreign colleges. And most of these colleges require us to get a certain amount of marks to meet our conditions. And I believe most of the students will be happy with the cancellation of the boards if they are able to secure those marks for foreign admissions. Considering what ma'am said about competitive exams and students focusing more on their non-CBSE work during 11th and most of earlier 12th, I believe these students will be more relieved by this decision due to the fact that they are more focused on performing extremely well in the competitive exams. I'm talking about JEE Advanced, Mains, NEET. So their focus is getting good ranks in those exams, and they'd rather just cruise through board exams, if I may say so. And I believe this decision helps them both. I can talk from their perspective because I myself am studying for these exams. And I believe this decision really, eases our burden as to speak about what is going to happen in the future. The only question remains to be asked is that how exactly are the students going to be marked?
Okay, I understand Karan is back with us. Karan, if you can hear me, I was asking you earlier about how this kind of an assessment criteria will really affect students who are applying abroad for universities.
Hello?
Karan, can you hear me?
Hello?
We've still got a problem with Karan. Apologies for that. We'll fix that in just a bit. I just also want to introduce another student who's joining us. Utkarsh is with us. He's also a student who I'm sure is facing so many difficulties, so many questions right now. He's a student of Lotus Valley School in Noida. Utkarsh, thank you for joining us here on India Today. You know, I was getting in perspectives from teachers, from students, a lot of uncertainty. I'm sure you're also facing that in the last few months. Will you be okay with a criteria where, you know, you're assessed with your marks that you scored in class 10 and class 11?
No, I don't think that marking board results on class 10th and 11th is good, as students were not performing at their best in class 11th, so I don't think it would be a good criteria. And the board result would be an important criterion for getting admission into colleges and universities. So I think they should make a proper.
Ms. Gandhi, how do you reach middle ground? You know, some students are saying we're happy with what's being done. Some are saying, no, this is simply not okay. For the CBSE, this is a huge challenge to ensure that, you know, students feel that they have been dealt with the right way. They've been given fairness also, that the criteria and assessment is done in a fair way. How do you reach that middle ground?
I understand that it's a Herculean task to make everybody happy. And I would also like to sort of disagree to some extent with the proposal that is coming that we can take some weightage of class 10, because as Jyoti also said, 10th is very elementary and it's very basic. And children have not taken specialized courses according to their aptitude. So it would be a little unfair. But on the other hand, it is extremely difficult for all schools to have a uniform system of marking. You see, very often the school which I am heading, I find that when I get applications for admissions from other schools, I find a child who's getting 90% there doesn't get even 70% in my entrance exam.
Yeah.
So every school has got a different system of internal marking. So if you only assess students on the basis of internal marks awarded by schools in class 11th and 12th pre-board, most of exams of class 12 were online. So we feel that would not be fair. Weightage has to be given to the first public exam which children appeared, howsoever elementary, howsoever basic it might. And anyway, it's not possible to please everybody. That's a difficult task for CBSE, but I'm sure with a very knowledgeable team of experts, they are working out day and night to come to a very conclusive, criteria and objective criteria, which will be welcomed by all.
It's very
and
simple.
Anyway, I personally feel that your schooling should never interfere with your education. You see, whatever marks you attain at school level is not a yardstick to your success in life. You have to aim at your skill development, at your personality, at your confidence, and enjoy and aim at excellence in whatever you do.
And I think we have a long way to get there, unfortunately, as far as our education is concerned. It's evolving. Yes, we're getting there slowly. But at this point, it's still all about marks, unfortunately. I'm going to try one last time to get Karan Gupta also with us. I'm being told he's through. Karan, can you hear me?
Hello.
Karan, if you can hear me, just give us details of how exactly this kind of assessment criteria will affect admission in foreign universities for students. What would your advice be to them?
Akshita, I lost you. I heard you for a second, and then again, it's gone.
Okay, all right. I think we will try to reconnect with you again, Karan, but there's a clear problem there with this connection. We'll go across to him in just a bit. I also want to introduce Pankaj Kapoor. He is a parent who's joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Pankaj, as stressful as this has been for students, it's equally stressful for parents also. First, they said that, there will be exams, then they postponed it, now they've cancelled it. How difficult has this entire period been for you?
Yeah, hi Akshita. Actually, it was very difficult and very stressful for our students and children who were preparing from last, say, 1.5 years for 12th exams. And now suddenly they got to know that exams are cancelled. They were under a lot of stress. But yes, on the health part, if we see, it was really good decision from the part of the government to cancel the exams. But now how they are going to assess these exams, or how they're going to assess 12th students, this is the major question. I mean, if they take into consideration 10th and 11th, classes for the exams, for their marks, so it will be really difficult, because sometimes students don't focus on class 11. They focus majorly on class 12.
Exactly.
To go through, their major focus is on class 12. So I think that won't be fair for, schools to judge students on 11th marks or 10th marks.
Dr. Gupta, then is the alternative to this, considering that they're all talking about, and everyone here on this panel has said that it's not fair to consider class 11, class 10 even in some cases for the assessment. In that kind of a circumstance, is it all about ensuring that you give a multifold option to students to choose which they prefer, and perhaps a re-exam, give them the option of appearing for exams if they're not satisfied with the criteria?
Absolutely. That is always going to be an option for the children. It was also there as an option last year, if we remember. UAE children did not give the exams. There were certain states in India as well which were disturbed, and the exams did not happen. So there was an objective criteria which was developed by the CBSE, wherein they gave the results to the children. And I don't think there was anybody who went in for the re-exam, or who wanted to give the exam there. Similarly, I do hope that this year also the criteria is going to be an objective criteria where all the children are going to be satisfied. We have an example of class 10. There is objectivity. There is also a ceiling on the performance of the school, because if we take a school and we take the historical data of the school, then the children who are appearing this year are not majorly different from the children who have appeared in the last 3 years. So that is quite an objective criteria, and who better can assess the children than the teachers who have taught them for 2 full years. That is 1 year in 11th and 1 year in 12th. There are so many countries in which the assessments are school-based assessments, where the universities take in the scores that are given by teachers.
So do you
I
think,
would
Dr.
say
Gupta,
that
that's the best option?
Yes, I think that is the best option, because if we are talking about the objectivity of the public examination that the children have taken in 10th, and just now, like the parents said, that it is not going to be fair on the children to be taking the previous 2 years of assessment. If you want to bring in the objectivity, then the last 3 years of the result of the school also is an objective criteria, where the ceilings can be put in there. The subject averages are the same. I've been in education for the past 32, 33 years, and I have seen that the results of any school, they circle around the similar average aggregates every year. So yes, there could be some schools where the schools are new, or maybe the incremental value may have been there. But then at the same time, some objective criteria will be developed, and I'm sure some flexibility is going to be given by the CBSE there.
Utkarsh, Ruchit, would you be for a school-based assessment? Utkarsh, particularly, you said you're not happy with any proposal of an assessment based on class 10, class 11 results. What, according to you, would be the ideal scenario? What would you like the criteria to be?
I would like a school-based criteria.
Okay. Okay, Ruchit, what about you? Would you also be okay with a school-based assessment, with the school going ahead and looking into how you've performed and deciding?
So, ma'am, I have twofold thinking about this.
Sure.
Yes, I agree with ma'am that it is not completely fair to judge students on what they've done in the past and what other students have done in the past. However, I agree that there is no formula in this situation that pleases all. The government has taken a drastic decision, and which was required, and we have to go ahead with one that provides results to students as quickly as possible. So yes, I would agree that we require some objective criteria, as you have been talking about, where students can be judged on their previous results. However, there is a small doubt regarding the fact of a general trend of how a school performs, because yes, overall there are a wide range of students in a school, and I would assume that considering the performance of the school based on how other students have performed may not provide results to students who have been working really hard and trying to break those barriers.
That's a very mature response from you, Ruchit. I'm going to try one last time before I wrap up this broadcast to again connect with Karan. Karan, we've been trying to get you for the entire broadcast.
Thank you, Anchor.
We've just about run out of time, but Karan, just one question to you. How will this affect admissions in foreign universities for students?
Akshita, hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Karan. Go ahead.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Akshita. Thank you for having me. Now, I didn't really get the entire question, but talking about top universities abroad, they never trusted the CBSE board to begin with. You remember a couple of years ago, the board had a ridiculously high number of students who were awarded 99% and above, making a mockery of the academic performance of students. Now, imagine 10 students from one school apply to the same university abroad, and all 10 have 99%. How is the university abroad supposed to evaluate such candidates? So in the end, grades are relative, yes, but they're not just absolute numbers. Now, universities abroad that have made conditional offers to students this year, and the condition being a specific grade in class 12, they would have to accept whatever grades in the end the CBSE board gives. But if those grades are anything like last year, then even average students are getting 90-95%, then we can expect that this year students who want to study abroad are not going to have an issue. But if the evaluation criteria is such that suddenly, because of the new criteria that's being adopted, we see lower grades overall, we are going to see some students lose their conditional offers and they may not be able to study abroad this year. And this, of course, is contingent on the CBSE board releasing the grades on time. Now, in general, universities abroad have been lenient in terms of timings.
Okay.
And if the results are delayed further, more universities will extend deadlines a little bit to accommodate the students. But there's a limit to these accommodations given by the foreign universities. And if the board doesn't get their act together,
Yes.
students are going to lose this academic year.
No, you know, that's such an important point. I wish you could have joined us earlier to have also discussed that. Unfortunately, I've completely run out of time. Thanks, Karan. I'd like to thank also Ms. Gandhi, Dr. Gupta, Mr. Pankaj Kapoor for joining us. Thanks to Utkarsh and Ruchit. All the best to you two as well. I hope things work out at the end. As I mentioned, extraordinary circumstances, and you can only imagine the kind of pressure that students are currently facing in the country. Let's hope that we get